So, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please do subscribe, hit that bell button, like, and slap on a nice comment. I want to know an opinion first. So, let me know if you want some presentation style stuff on research of coins. This is an educational sort of channel essentially. I do own a cryptocurrency education platform, link below if you want to learn. It's accredited courses in the UK. But I want to kind of put a little thought process out there in terms of more educational kind of what is a coin? Is it any good? Should you buy it? Sort of shit. More like a longevity sort of video you can come back to learn a bit about it. So let me know. Anyways, journey of cryptocurrency. In my opinion, I kind of like CoinMarketCap still. I always have since like 2016. It's just one of those, I've always liked it. I know people have reservations against it, but they have improved since Binance have taken over. Although the other day it did crash and I was like, oh dear. Binance servers sometimes do get a bit cluggy, but they've got some new stuff out. I want to explain, this is like the kind of the start of the journey of you finding out stuff in the market. Okay, we'll start off with CoinMarketCap first. We'll do some charting sort of stuff as well, and then we'll go on to some picks that I've kind of identified for the long term in terms of like long term, short term, if that makes sense. About 3 month hold, technically, if you're looking to flip some stuffs. So, headlines, new stuff. You can make an account on here now. You can get news. You get emails to you of all the news, and you can get all the events as well. One thing I want to make sure you understand though, go to the news. Now, this is much better than just going on Google, right? I know it sounds daft, but you know, if you've got another monitor and you're into the space completely, like me, get another screen and have something like this up all the time. If you can split your screen up into certain things, do it, because you need to know what's in charge. Well, not so much in charge, I was just looking at that word there. You need to know what's happening overall in the market. Certain things on the morning, have a little read up and see what's happening. That's the first thing. Now, this is obviously a very, very big bit of news about Chainlink right now. Once you go into it, it's an aggregation. You can basically view it on trading CoinMarketCap. Really is a decent little service that does help you. But as I say though, that is an interesting bit of news there. Link moving a lot of money around the holders right now. So if you're thinking of going long right there, and then you're thinking, oh, actually Chainlink have just been moving them off and potentially dumping them, well, you got problems. So that's one thing you need to look at. Another thing as well, in terms of this, you know, you got signals as well in terms of developments. This is the next part of the video. Developments. It is fucking crucial you understand that. The only reason why a lot of people win in cryptocurrency right now is due to alt season. It technically still is an alt season, but there's still dominance quite high. We've not really roared yet, in my opinion. We haven't really went down the fucking boom roller coaster ride. We have moved, but we've seen much bigger in the past. Anywho, developments, fundamentals regarding those developments of the project are key. If a project has been working towards something like massive and you've known about it for a while and you've been accumulating, and all of a sudden they've announced the date for it and it's slipped underneath the radar because everyone's looking at other things, and you see there's a 3 or 4 month run up to it, you can bet your bottom dollar they will run. They obviously look at Cardano as an example with their changeover. Ethereum will probably get it before Ethereum 2.0 comes out. You've got all kinds of projects going on runs, and we're going to go over those in a minute. But this is another good place to be. This is like the basic place you need to be. This is, though, a little bit behind because it's telling you as it's kind of happening. Some of these have already happened, and like they're just news about it. But some of them, in all honesty, are quite good. And you'll find some little gems on here. You'll find little coins of thinking, oh, hello, that's kind of interesting. But where you need to go is CoinMarketCap. And I've identified 3 projects in here already that I like and I think that will do well. I've recommended them in my premium group. If you want a link into that, jump in. It's free for 7 days if you want to try it out. Analysis and stuff. But the first one is Lisk. Halving is coming out. That's an obvious one. Going from 2 to 1. I tweeted about this as well today. The next one is Blockstacks. You got mainnet launch 30th of September or earlier. It's been going on a nice little run. And the last one I've been talking about it recently as well is OneChain. OneChain have got a fucking load of stuff happening, right? They've got this bad boy, right? Basically a two-way bridge for freaking the DeFi blockchains, which is going to be absolutely freaking mental, in my opinion. Especially if they get like established partnerships in the DeFi world. DeFi's hyping. Don't know if you know yet. But we talk a lot about coins that are doing well. We don't talk about them before they do well because they're kind of cold. I got a lot of comments yesterday in my video regarding OneChain being a cold, old project. It's only been out since 2018. Fuck me. So when you look at that and you think, well, actually, they've not even fully got onto the, they've not built everything up yet. It's like Cardano. People saying, oh, Cardano's finished, it's done. What? Come on. They need to be built. The problem is speculation moves markets. Cryptocurrency is the biggest for that. So if you are looking at projects that are just pure speculation, ride it. Fuck it, go for it. But be very, 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 very careful when it dumps, because if there's no real speculation to back up, or not so much speculation, but if the speculation is gone and it's the hype side down, there's no real live product to back it up, you're going to see a very, very nasty correction. You don't want that. So, moving on. Remember those three: Lisk, OneChain, and Blockstack. They've got some decent stuff coming out in the next short-term space, especially in the next 3 months. Keep an eye on it because it could really do well. But market analysis, we've got the obvious, right? Let's look at the world of Ethereum first, right? Because we've got bearish divergence coming down. We've retraced this impulse down to the 618 and we've popped up a little bit, but we're starting to come down a little bit. We've failed from that level. Now, one thing's to be obviously apparent is the fees with Ethereum. The world of DeFi has kind of crumbled it a little bit. But there's all kinds of other things happening in the market. First, I want to talk about, because we have got, finally, let's just talk about this bad boy. This is the SPX. We were testing the all-time highs, didn't quite do it. We'll see what happens next. Kind of interesting. But elections have been announced in America. The date of the debates, September, October, November time, is going to be crucial for the stock market. There's going to be a lot of opposition competition between, obviously, the two parties or whatever, who we know the front runners are. Big fundamental flaw with all this is how much of this stock market is propped up by stimulus and fake money, quantum easing. If there's going to be a dump, we've got to look at two situations. We've got A, COVID crash number 2. That big thing on the side there. Can you see it? That big, massive, ooh, what the fuck? That could happen again. Option number 2, profit taken from the stock market and put into other wealth assets. Gold, Bitcoin, other digital assets. That's an option, but we need to be careful. In my opinion, what you should do, be prepared for any situation. Have some fiat laying around just in case there's some low ball offers come in. But what I feel with Bitcoin, and certainly with when you're looking at this toppy-turvy sort of area with the SPX, and you've obviously got with the DJI as well, where we're like, ooh, looking a bit toppy, boys and girls. We could go a little bit higher here, but we could also just dump. The elections could be the catalyst for a market correction. Could be, not financial advice. What I will say is the best possibility is institutional investment coming into Bitcoin or other digital assets. The prices need to be low. If there is a sharp correction and we do dump, and we do have one of those ferocious kind of like horrendous dumps that we've had in the past, when you look at the likes of Bitcoin, for example, I'm looking at this thinking, well, actually, it's not too out of the way for us to correct down to 11k right now from this level here where we've not got through. But when you look like this and you think, holy fucking shit, if that happens again, boys and girls, I will tell you now, you need to buy the dip. It's just obvious. If something like that does correct, and it is based off the fact of the stock market correcting, you've got to stick with your fundamental knowledge of Bitcoin. You know where it is. Same with any other digital asset. If you, with all that element of like a big massive shock to the system and it dumps, you got to look at certain levels in the Bitcoin chart, and I want to address this now. If let's just remove some of the noise just to make it a bit easier. These are weekly levels, by the way. If we go below this weekly level, it's going to start hurting. Well, it's not going to hurt. It's just we're going to go down to the 6k level. When you start looking at overall market corrections from, let's just start from this point here, 5k. The start of like the big impulse. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if we dump into this zone, into this level here, the 7k, 6k region, and What I'm saying about this has been like this as well, and even if I zoom out a little bit, we've got these levels down here, we've got these levels here, these levels here. There's loads of little levels that you can see where things have just like turned around, or they just went up and back down. This level, obviously a big level here. Institutional investment will come in the market when it's ready, but it's going to come in when it's low. And I want to make it very, very clear that you understand that. Be prepared for freaking anything with this market. People are very, very bullish right now, but ultimately these projects will correct due to certain things. But there's a massive bearish divergence on that BTC chart right now. Massive. Look at it. It's fucking ginormous. It's like a donkey's dick, as I like to elaborate on. That is like massive. There's going to be a pullback very, very soon, in my opinion. This is a daily time frame. It's kind of important to look at this. If it fails to get beyond this 12k psychological level on the weekly level, we're going to go back downwards, in my opinion. But as I like to say, this is what could happen, but that could happen too in reality. We know that this happens in the market, so just keep an absolute eye on it. In terms of other coins, let's have some bullish stuff as well. As I said before at the start of the video, let's look at like a Lisk, for example. The reason being, it's doing all right. You know, it's doing absolutely perfectly fine. Again, if you're in my premium, you'll know that I picked this location a few days ago. Boom. Buy the dip. I was saying it all over Twitter. Buy the dip. This is not bearish yet. Buy the dip. Altcoins are still bullish. Even if Bitcoin's stable and stays around that 12k level or even 11.5 and it just sideways for a while until it decides what we want to do, altcoins will do well. They'll keep popping, especially ones with fundamental developments coming soon. So there's Lisk doing well, as I've said. You know, we've got not much data here, but you know, it has been rallying up quite nicely. Just keep an absolute eye on it. Again, we'll look at OneChain. OneChain, another one. This one dipped right into this liquidity pool and now it fucking popped. Doing very, very well today. Very, very happy with this one. Went right up to that level here. 48 cents, which is absolutely perfect little trade there. If you know how to trade like this, it's very, very simple. It's fucking obvious as fuck. Obviously I don't even have half of my freaking things on this chart yet. I don't even have my weekly levels on it. That's how easy that chart is. Perfect. But boom, STX Bosh again, right into the zone. Off we go, son. So another one, absolutely perfectio, went right the way up and corrected. So another one to keep an eye on. But you got to think long term. These are releasing their development updates in the next coming months. So ride the hype, as they say. Hotter it gets, the faster it will go. FOMO will bring people in. So yeah, enjoy.